morning reporting, making sense of financial news.
Earlier this year, we did several stories at a conference run by the futuristic California think tank Singularity University. The stories were about high-tech's prodigious promise for the future, dirt-cheap energy, sky-high crop yields, labor-free machinery. Tonight comes the kicker. Far longer, far healthier, conceivably even eternal life. Why would immortality be in economics rather than a science story? Because the basic aim of economics is to maximize well-being, the greatest good for the greatest number. And a longer, healthier life is the most unambiguous good there is, says Singularity's co-founder Ray Kurzweil. Skeptics notwithstanding.
You know, people say, oh, I don't want to live past 100. I say, yeah, okay, I'd like to hear you say that when you're 100.
Assuming they'll be hale and hearty at 100, which Kurzweil emphatically does. In fact, he firmly believes that at age 100, he'll just be getting started.
I think I have a very good chance of making it through.
But when you say making it through, you mean essentially live forever.
Indefinitely. I mean, I can never talk to you and say, I've done it, I've lived forever. But the goal is to put that decision in our own hands rather than the metaphorical hands of fate.
Now, before you diss Ray Kurzweil's prediction that death will become an elective procedure, note that he's known for being ahead of the curve. This footage comes from the film about him, Transcendent Man.
My name is Raymond Kurzweil, and I'm from Queens, New York.
While still in high school, he was invited on TV's I've Got a Secret to show off the computer he'd programmed to compose music in the style of classical composers.
Raymond, how old are you?
I'm 17.
Your parents know what you've been up to?
In his 20s, he invented a reading machine for the blind.
They've invented a machine that can make any book talk.
470 years ago.
His first customer was Stevie Wonder.
Obviously, it was a life changer.
Starting a lifelong friendship that led to the development of Kurzweil's second major invention, a musical synthesizer that sounded like real instruments.
Can you all hear that bass drum there?
In short, a string of breakthroughs that boggle the human brain, when you think of how primitive computer brains were back then. But computers had been getting more powerful fast, which got Kurzweil thinking ahead.
In 1981, I noticed this remarkable exponential curve, which was very smooth, and I extended that curve out to 2050. Now we're in 2012. It's 30 years later, and we're very much on that curve.
What Kurzweil had noticed, as illustrated in the Transcendent Man documentary, was that all information technologies progress exponentially, doubling in performance while decreasing in size and price. Double every year, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and so forth, and in just 3 decades, you've topped 1 billion.
This is several billion times more powerful per dollar than the computer I used when I was a student. It's 100,000 times smaller. We can create computers twice as powerful as they are today next year because we're using today's computers to create them.
While Kurzweil's brain is nothing to sneeze at, he thinks even he won't be able to compete with tomorrow's computers.
Artificial intelligence will reach human levels by around 2029. Follow that out further to, say, 2045, we will have multiplied the intelligence, the human biological machine intelligence of our civilization a billion-fold.
A billion-fold from today?
Right. That's such a singular change that we borrow this metaphor from physics and call it a singularity, a profound disruptive change in human history. Our thinking will become a hybrid of biological and non-biological thinking.
But for the purposes of immortality, and therefore this story, so will our other bodily functions become a hybrid, insists Kurzweil, as humans and computers